overbrought, and a loss to Salty Fry, a combined record of 8-4. No shame losing to Salty Fry, a member of the 4-0.
Looks like we're off.
And usually it's a race to the magic shops to see what spells of destruction you have at your disposal.
Sleep, Fast, Stun, and Lit in level 1 black.
Not exactly a lot of mass destruction from those spells.
Ooh, Wall, Cure 4, Exit. Ooh, in level 1. Good time to be a red mage.
Unless one of those was the harm slot. Tents, not too expensive. You'll actually be able to save on the overworld, strangely enough.
Looks like Arsonhorse is going to take a fight to get a little more cash.
It always puts you in an interesting position. I like the idea of putting even a dagger in the hands of the knight, the fighter in this case. It definitely helps to do some damage. It looks like it was cheap enough you could buy a bunch of it, so no harm in that. It'll get you through Garland.
Well, with Fast at level 1, if you've got any sort of weapon on your fighter, just fast them up. You're probably going to 1 or 2 shot Garland at most anyway.
Yeah, with the dagger, you're probably still not doing a lot with only Fast. If you put 3 charges of Temper on there, that'd be a different story, but Fast is going to rely a little bit on you having the baseline to do the damage with.
Looks like Arson's just going to finish up his shopping and head towards TOF.
You can probably do Exit on a budget and only have one person get it. No harm in having 2 people get it so you don't get caught out, but...
No, I know it's a safety, it's a fallback. If there's nothing else really good in level 1, well, why not, right? But if there's something more, you could get away with 1 person with Exit. Looks like Arson is heading for TOF.
So the one interesting thing about the starting area is there's actually so many safe tiles where you cannot get an encounter. It becomes a little hard to judge right away what your encounter table is like. However, seeing the amount of encounters we already are for Arsonhorse, I think this is going to be a painful one.
Yeah, it looks like the gap might be towards the middle or even closer to the end. Silver helmet and our first chest opened of the match.
It's some decent defense. The gold is quite nice. That'll definitely fund a war effort.
Yeah, that'll fund level 2 or level 3, wherever they have to go next.
We get our first look at Garland here right about the 3-minute mark. He's got stun touch.
Yeah, 3 lightning spells, though. It'll take a couple of rounds to take him down, but shouldn't be much of an issue.
Yeah, having that level 2 full magic, you get a lot of charges, and it's going to make this fairly safe. So Garland down, and soon we'll get a look at items. King has the floater.
Come on, canoe.
So we got jet seeds.
So it's here. Zoom, 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 people. Now, would your first play be directly for airship, or would you still check chests along the way?
The only chests I'm going to be checking along the way are the ones in Dwarf Cave. Because still need money. You're going to walk through Elfland, and definitely going to want money for a good spell. Right now we have no AoE magic. So, once you get out of the early area, walking can be challenging.
Yeah, and this could be where the white mage is hurting Edgeworth right now, because he doesn't have the 3 casts of lightning.
Doesn't take a
like
stun
he's
touch
swinging
for the
away.
knight, though, so that's the difference in sticking a weapon in that knight's hand. Is instead of being trivial, he did 50 damage.
Looks like Arsonhorse is on his way. Lots of tents, so we should see some encounter manipulation.
Yeah, it becomes an interesting battle, but he's got so many tents, he can even afford to use it after just 1 or 2 steps, but it looks like so condensed at the front end of this table, it looks like. That's
Yeah,
5
it's really
encounters with
heavy.
no decent walk.
Now we might have a decent walk here. Looks like it.
On the
So
other
that-
hand, when they are that tight together, it actually can work out if the walk is decent after that, because you can burn those encounters off so fast. So
Yeah,
if they're going to
exactly.
be really tight, you want them to just be right on top of each other.
Yeah, it's good for if you're trying to level too. If you want to do a quick grind, it's good to have those encounters quick.
Yeah, this route is also going to take them to the Crescent Lake area, so if you've got the spells to kill Peds and a quick first step, I'm always going to check out what the Pede situation is to see how many levels I can get.
Those
Interesting,
Kareeves
Arson
are hitting like
that,
trucks.
Arson kept that death instead of resetting going back and would have been outside the Dwarf Cave. It wouldn't have been a big loss. Now
Yeah,
you've
but
gotta
he's true to
pay.
credits though. I think the credits would
Annoying,
even
but
out here.
you're also going to have to spend the time to bring people back to life. And money that you really don't want to spend right now.
Looks like after those 5 or 6 encounters, there's a good draw, a good run. Bit of money and some real estate in the dwarves.
Curious to see if this matters. That's 200 gold you had to spend on lives. Quad X, but it's expensive. Definitely something for the Black Mage to do at level 3, though. Harm 4,
Harm
and I think I
4.
saw in Viz 2.
No AoEs, no sweeper spells yet. Harm 3.
Yeah. So we're in okay shape for the undead, but we can't afford any of that. Nuke at level 4, so Arsonhorse is going to be well set for that. Edge might be a little bit behind having the white mage instead of the red mage. However, oh, tail for sale.
40k tail. So you might see that, or you might not. Depends on how it goes, I guess.
But that may not be the most common spot to check for the merchant item the first time you're through. It's kind of important to remember that it's out there, but it's easy to walk past that item shop.
Yeah, I've done it a time or two. Looks like Arsonhorse is going straight for his airship.
Missed that the first time, so they do have a little bit of black magic at level 3. Just don't spend all your money, Edge. Check the level 4 shop first. Yeah,
So we have a 7-minute and 45-second airship. Arsonhorse flies right past Crescent Lake, heading for the pirates.
Pirates are a pretty quick check. You've got the spells to take them out.
Plus you can
And
check the
maybe-
level 2 magics. And
Yeah. Life
Life
2, level
2.
2. This was not a white mage seed, and boy, this is the reset scenario. This is the scenario, in my opinion, where it's so quick to get through that I get rid of the white mage and probably bring the red mage instead. You
Yeah,
don't
but
need it for
you'd
the
be-
life spells. The nuke is going to make such a difference in clearing things out. This, to me, is the seed to do it.
would you want to drop the 8 minutes though? 9 minutes?
Yeah, it won't actually be that long in terms of making your way back because you know where things are. So it would be a time loss. It'd be like a 4-minute time loss, I think. 4 to 6, I'll say. So let's say it's 6 at the high end. But then you've got 5, 6 extra charges of nuke. And that's going to just help you mow things down.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we think we've lost Edge's stream here, so we'll see what's going on there.
Well, we have a great restreamer who will be on top of things and restore it as soon as we're able to restore it. Otherwise, we'll just see what happens with Arsonhorse. Level 2 Black Magic. What do we have? We have Fire 3.
Lightning 3 too, so bunch of 3s.
Grabbed one of them.
No, he was there before. That's
Okay.
that's his second trip in.
Alright, so now it looks like it's the treasure searching. Because, you know, if you were able to get a big money chest, you would be able to get that tail in class change.
Yeah, and an early class change would not be a bad thing if you come across an Excalibur or an Aegis Shield or something.
The great thing about having it early is one, you can learn the spells on the night and just have that out of the way. Pro Ring is helpful. The other big thing it can do for you is, by the way, pirates had the cube. The other big thing that the class change does for you is, instead of having the equipment sitting there waiting on class change to use it, you can equip it as you get it. Now there's the bridge. That'll really help.
And another Pro Ring. 2 Pro Rings.
It'll save you a little bit of money.
Yeah, you won't have to buy them.
And here comes the last treasure room.
Looks like we have Edge back and running now, so...
Yeah, and obviously he didn't think that the class change was warranted, so we'll just continue with that party. And who knows, maybe he'll be rewarded with Fate at level 5.
He did get a, what did he pick up now? I can't remember. Oh, the Dragon Armor. He found the Dragon Armor in the Cardi Isles.
And
Sages have the crown.
Which I don't think Arsonhorse actually got yet.
That's our first ribbon right there in the Titan's Cave.
Well, that is a very interesting little divergence that Edge goes and gets the items first. The great thing that that does for you is you're a lot less prone to forget them.
We have a loot.
Synchronized loot pickups.
Screens
Almost good
are
enough for a marching
synchronized.
band.
Looks like Edgeworth's going to come across his ribbon now, while Arsonhorse is checking level 5 spells.
So this is the big thing about the Swiss flags. Once you have that airship, you cover a lot of ground, so we're down to only 3 incentive locations left. The Ice Cave, Castle Ordeals, and the robot at the waterfall.
Looks like Arsonhorse may be heading for the volcano. Dive the armory.
And there's a ribbon for Edge here at the Titan's Trove. And I'm thinking we're going to see Edge do the crown chain while he's in the area. Make a liar out of me, why don't you, Edge? I was about to say what a great idea that was. Because the crown would probably get you enough money to purchase
you're
the
right.
tail.
He's going to beat up Astos.
Well, he sure went the long way to get there. I think he changed his mind mid-route. Maybe he just thought of it.
Meanwhile, Arsonhorse has a red mage down.
Low levels for Edge, but the spells are there to kill Astos quickly.
I mean, going into Volcano at level 4, it's a risk, but when you got life 2, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I said I would love to check the peds in this scenario, and part of that, it would give you the spell charges that you could go in there firing AoEs like there's no tomorrow, and that's going to help you cover ground. A little harder to do at level 4.
Bit of jump change in Matoya's cave, not much.
But it moves you that much closer to the crown. Once Edge has that, he's going to get the Elfin Treasury, the Dwarf Treasure Trove, the Corneria Treasury, and odds are you're getting a decent payout out of that. It'd be really hard for it to roll all troll rewards, or whatever you want to call it. But he's got the key at 14 minutes. And does Arsonhorse remember to get the crown? Yes, he does.
Looks like Edgeworth is going to raid the castle, see what he comes up with.
Ends up being a 3-minute deficit for Arsonhorse getting the crown. Approximately. All my times are approximate, don't take me to be exactly correct.
Got a good bit of cash out of there, Edgeworth. Now he's buying some Quad X. Larson's going to try the volcano once again. Hopefully have more luck now that he's got a few more levels under his belt.
Couple levels will make a big difference. Sometimes that's just what you gotta do. I had one seed that I played where I was really stubbornly trying to get my way through a required marsh cave, and I just kept dying no matter what I did. So finally, I stomp on the overworld, I get 2 levels, and I one-shot it the next time through.
Looks like Edgeworth has bought Nuke, but I don't think there's any plans to re-roll in his future.
No, not at this point. It's something you might do in the first 10 minutes if something is significant enough to make you change your mind. I think the Red Mage access to life plus Nuke would have done it for me. But then again, Edge is 3-1 in this, and I'm not, so factor that into your calculations.
With the competition the way it is, anybody can be anything right about now.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder what Arsonhorse could have done if not for running into a 4-0 opponent already. Could Arsonhorse have been 4-0?
1 TOFR wipe, 1 mistake, and bam, he could be 4-0. Gonna find out what the Giants have now, or the Dwarfs, sorry.
Stinger is one of the worst skills you're going to run into. It's just so time consuming.
Couple of ice swords, a pro cape, and a light axe. Not a bad little haul.
No, there's a lot of good there. That light axe is something that can be held by the white mage and do some damage to the undead. The ice swords are a great pickup for the fighter at this point.
Ooh, Argoils with sleep. That's dangerous. But he does have that 1 ribbon on the fighter, so. Looks like Edgeworth is storming the other castle.
Silver Bracelet is nice defensive. Aegis Shield is the best shield, so that's good.
The
Vorpal Sword is a great pickup right now.
So now Edgeworth has the dragon armor, the Aegis Shield, and the Vorpal. I mean, class change is pretty much a given now.
Gotta get the money for it, though, and 40k is a lot. He sells one of the ice swords. Mono would be proud. Opal Shield, we don't need it. Silver Helmet can go to... wow. I didn't know you could get 40k for a ribbon.
Now, would you think... no, see, that's a dangerous play.
No, now he might think Armory at Volcano. It certainly puts it...
Defense sword in there for Edge of the Arsonhorse.
Better utility than the Vorpal. Vorpal better damage, typically.
Armory was pretty much a bust.
Yeah, but I think Edge will also pick up the defense sword, and you're going to be very happy to get that. Just because you know you can always stick it on a knight and have that defense.
Fuchsia, I don't believe they have temper.
Now
I think the magic selection in this game has been pretty poor for black mages at the moment.
Yeah, low enough nuke to be valuable, but red mage can learn it too, so there was no advantage to having a black mage over the red mage. And black mages don't learn life too, so...
Grey worms with some ice too, giving Edgeworth the business.
Historically, Edge likes to test the waters on some of these encounters at Volcano if they're a potential grind enemy. If there's something he could go against several times without any other encounters and maybe pick up some extra levels and or money from them.
Looks like Arsonhorse is going to show us our first ice cave dive. Comes across some wizards with slow.
That's really unpleasant. Now, if you're going to kill him, you're going to do it by AoEs anyways, so you're not so much worried about the slow. But anytime you've got 6 monsters casting an AoE on 4 people, you got to sit through 24 animations. That takes a while.
Yeah, like it's more a hindrance than a danger.
Yeah, not as bad as Stinger though, because then you also have the extra menu time of curing poison.
Looks like Edge is out at a volcano.
How close is he going to be on money with the power staff, I wonder?
I think he's pretty close now. I think the power staff might give him what he needs to put him over the top.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to do it. Well, I say that.
Well, the defense sword was worth 47, but you can't think about selling that.
No, not even.
You know, maybe a pro ring if it'd be worth, because you could probably buy another one later.
You could, but I think he'll sell the silver helmet first. Maybe he's going to price check this first. No, get rid of the silver helmet and that's good enough. Well, it depends on the change, actually. You could definitely sell the silver bracelet. They're clearly cheap enough. And you're going to find a gold and opal bracelet in chests, theoretically.
Sell the Vorpal?
No, we're not selling the Vorpal. It's right now, I would sooner use the Vorpal over the defense in Temple of Fiends Revisited. I'm hoping for better, but use Vorpal.
Looks like Arsonhorse isn't having much trouble in the ice cave so far, but I don't think he's really come across anything dangerous yet. And Edgeworth has the tail.
I think he sold the ice sword to get over the top, which makes a lot of sense because once you have class change, you don't care about ice sword anymore.
Oh, some black clothes. Good little AoE spell. Also an advantage for Arsonhorse being that they both have a black mage. That'd be good for both.
Yeah, that's definitely the best defense for a black mage because it's as good as a gold bracelet basically for absorb plus status protection. Plus it does AoE ice too.
He's gonna clean out the bottom of ice now, see what he comes across.
This is a bit of a gamble. Those ice dragons don't tend to be too soft, and you walk through the damage tiles for just 2 chests. So it's kind of the completionist in us coming out to check those chests, whereas the runners will just skip it entirely.
Question in chat. I'm gonna say Edgeworth has a bit of a lead, progression-wise, because he has picked up the tail, but they're pretty much neck and neck at this moment.
Both the tail, and he's done the crown chain as well. So the only ground that Arsonhorse is covering right now is ground that Edge is going to soon cover.
Edge is now cleaning out the Cardi Islands on his way to a class change.
Also, Edge, I believe I would call that a ribbon up on Arsonhorse. Where was the first ribbon we saw at? It was here, wasn't it? Cardi Islands?
No, ribbon was down in the Titan's Cave.
That's the one that Edge got. Arsonhorse hasn't been there yet. I was wondering where Arson got his.
No, Arsonhorse was there. He got it.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, remember they were synced up?
Okay.
Remember they were synced up at Sardia? He went in the cave when Edge took off.
Okay. And there's class change for Edge at 24 minutes.
And now that fighter is just going to become a pure tank.
having Dragon Armor Vorpal at level 7 is fantastic. Also, when you get to the higher levels, your knight is already going to have that magic.
And the Aegis shield, like the knight's already set for endgame, pretty much.
Yeah, you're quite pleased with that lineup. The Silver Helmet even is not bad.
Although he's keeping the Pro Cape on for now. And the Ice Cave has the bottle. Looks like Arson is going to do a bit of a grind here on these eyes.
And I really don't mind that if they're easy and you have the ability to kill it quickly. Plus, with Exit, getting out of here is free. But that's more hits than I'd like against the eye. Basically, I want to one-shot it or two-shot it. Otherwise, I start to feel a little about the time investment.
Looks like Edge is going to make his Ice Cave dive now.
Yeah, and by contrast, when Edge gets there, he will one-shot the eye if he even takes that fight. Well, I guess he has to. We don't have warp.
Arsonhorse, one of his characters died, so he exited immediately.
So this leaves us with the rod out there somewhere, also the slab, and we've only got 2 locations to look for them.
The waterfall and ordeals.
So it's very possible you do ordeals, then route in the bottle, then do all of Sea Shrine, translate the slab. Which
wolves with crack, and grey wolves with toxic.
Well, that's where you're very glad that tents were cheap, or this seed would have been pure misery.
Wow, if you didn't have an ability to manipulate on that, that would have been really bad.
Walking to Elfland could have been extremely difficult in this seed.
Looks like Arson's got lots of cash now. Let's see if he remembers to go get his tail, or if he chooses to do something else. Right now, he's just shoring up his level 3 spells.
Didn't get a look at his money situation. Does he be able to buy the tail now?
56k. He's got lots.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
He's gonna like seeing Nuke here.
Should have already gotten it at least one charge. He just didn't have the levels. Yeah, he already had it on one person. 2 people, in fact. Was that the Bane Sword? Did I just see the Bane Sword?
I don't think. The Bane spell was in level 5. Level 4.
Sword. Bane Sword. I think it was in the one south of the Frostwolf fight.
Oh, it may have been. I didn't see if it was.
I don't care if it's a meme. It's the best backup plan in the game.
It's like Arsonhorse is trying to decide what his next play is.
When all else fails, there's Bane Sword.
Looks like he is now going to do his crown quest.
A little behind where Edge did it, and the biggest thing that did is I think it opened up Edge to make more progress. Where Arsonhorse needed to stop and do things to get enough money. Well, Arson does have more levels in the bank at this point.
Yeah, we'll see if Edge decides to grind on the eye or not for a few seconds.
I think anytime you can one-shot it, which he should be able to, it justifies spending a little time. Big question is how much time.
Arsonhorse is robbing Matoya and finishing off his key quest.
Just robbing that poor old woman blind.
Because, I mean, with Quad X, you can one-shot the eye with that, so... Like, if I have charges of Quad X when I get to the eye, I just burn them off on the eye before I leave.
Well, he's got the defense sword equipped right now, which... better hit rate? So against a low evasion enemy, that is actually going to theoretically outdo the Vocal Sword, but as soon as you stack any evade on there, then it starts to get better to have the Warble.
Oh boy, the eye has stone and damage poison. I have a feeling there'll be no more grinding on this eye.
Well, good to learn without it wiping you out. Also good to have lots of charges of exit.
Arsonhorse has his class changed now, and he's going to equip his fighter with all the good stuff.
Edge has, well, I guess he doesn't have houses. I was going to say, he can go ahead and do Volcano at this point.
Well, he's doing some shopping now. I seen him pick up a house, so that might be his next play. He's in the area.
Picked up 10. He's topping off the heals. He's in good shape if he wants to do that. Could also fly all the way south, go to Ordeals.
Nope, looks like he's going to do the volcano dive. I have a feeling he's going to light his first orb too while he's in here. He's got the levels for carry.
He's already done the armory, so he can go through this pretty quickly, especially if he's willing to go mode the rest of the dungeon. It starts to become a question of what are you willing to settle for? With no sighting of temper, and I think we've seen everything but level 5, really, the value goes up for the power gauntlet in that scenario.
And I think we've seen level 5, and I don't believe Fast was there.
I don't recall anybody ducking into Melmond. It wouldn't, with no slab, it would be about the only thing you'd be looking for is if temper was there, or warp. Heal helmet, it's even in absorb to the silver helmet, but of course you have the side benefit of being able to cast heal with it. So as far as absorb goes, it's your second best helmet to the opal.
See how Arsonhorse handles these pillars here, see if they troll him or if he makes it through easily.
You have 4 choices to make through these pillars. They are shuffled from the vanilla, but once the seed is loaded, that is the path through. So the faster you learn it, the faster you're getting through.
Looks like Arson's having a little trouble. He's been going through the same motions here. Meanwhile, Edge is still cleaning out the volcano. Ooh, a mage staff.
If you have warp, the pillar maze is free because you can just backtrack to wherever you were last. If you don't have that, then it starts to be this question of how much are you willing to search this before you just reset out and start over again.
Ooh, what happened over there? Those giants? Did giants with poison?
Don't know, but they're red giants and they do tend to hit pretty hard.
Yeah, they put 2 of his tunes on the floor, Edge. Looks like the Agama's rolled under 300.
With the lower experience bonus, the Agamas are just not seen as valuable. Maybe with knowing the eye is out, you are willing to take a couple of these fights, but not nearly as many as we saw, say, in the last tournament.
No, the Agama grind is really only good if you're gonna solo with a black belt or something.
But he's gonna take the extra ones. I'll also be curious if he goes for the red dragon chest. Get 2 more Agama fights.
I started skipping that chest lately in my runs because, I mean, it's a 3 encounter for 1 chest. That's rare, it's something good, so.
Now, one thing to keep in mind is, although it's not a option in this particular flag set with Swiss flags, that can be an incentive location. Zeus Gauntlet pickup. Opal armor is just cash.
Thor hammer, too. And a rune sword. So I got lots of sweeper items now. And we have the slab. So that leaves us the waterfall with the rod. And we have Edgeworth taking on carry now. See how this goes for him. Confused, but
yeah, she's susceptible to that, so it makes sense to use it there. And Nuke is also something she's susceptible to. But what isn't?
And the wizard does make Carrie miss a turn, so it is worth doing it if it hits. And Quad X takes care of the rest.
I just love seeing that, because that's kind of been a strat I've been talking about lately that I think has been undervalued a little. People will get in there, they'll deal 300 damage against the Fiend, and it's like, well, if you don't do math while live on Twitch, but if you do the math on that, that tells you there's like an 90% likelihood that Quad X would just one-shot the Fiend, so cast it. Cast it and win.
Looks like we have some stake going on Arson's side here.
Now, Arsonhorse may be trying to get under Edge's skin, but Edge isn't seeing the Tyro kills.
Looks like Arsonhorse is going to check the... Oh, well, nope. I thought he might have been going to the waterfall, but...
I would really like translating the slab first, which it seems to be what he's doing, because one, you don't want to forget it. Two, get a look at the Melman spells. What really surprises me is that he hadn't done class change yet, so that means he hasn't bought the tail yet, and hopefully he routes that.
No, he's done class change already.
Okay, you're right. My bad. I didn't recognize the... From the profile side, I didn't recognize the class change. So Saber at level 5, no Temper, means Temper is going to be at 7, and just practically speaking, not useful. You might be able to get a couple.
Fast would probably be 7 too. I don't think we've seen Fast, have we?
Wasn't it level 1?
Well, could be.
Now you're making me doubt myself.
No, there it is. I've seen it.
Okay.
Then Temper's not really big, but it would help, but... Oh,
Well, the
no,
great
look
thing
at us
about Temper
unlock.
is it stacks where Fast doesn't. You're not getting 500 hits thanks to Fast, but you get a lot of damage added with those Tempers.
That one ribbon is keeping the white mage upright, which is preventing a stun lock in this fight.
Those stun locks can be so terrible.
These gargoyles are just wasting so much time casting slow and sleep.
Yeah, and this is where if you have something like Zeus or Thor on the white mage, they can cast it. It's also why they're a favorite target of mine to hold onto the Bane Sword. When you're in a nightmare scenario like that, here's the worst running member of the party. Go ahead and throw that Bane out there, and even if it doesn't kill everything, maybe it gets 3 of them down, which makes it that much faster to get out of it.
Looks like he's picking up some spells for his fighter, wall and exit.
A lot of good can come out of that. Not necessarily.
Picking up fast on the rest of his tunes now, so... He routed all that in before he hit the castle. Looks like Edgeworth is slowly making his way through the pillars now.
Now, Arsonhorse gets the Vorpal. So now they're pretty even on the items collected. Really, the only difference between them at this point is picking up that orb. Edge is soon going to have the slab, but how long does it take Arsonhorse to get one of the fiends down? You don't have to do them in the same order, so Arsonhorse could still go to a Sea Shrine, or could full clear Sky Castle at this point.
Looks like he's going to check out. Looks like he's going to check out. Nope, he's going to get his chimes. So if he's in the area, it looks like he is planning to go Sky Castle.
Yes, so with the slab translated, you can pick up the chime. He's got the cube, so he can go all the way through here. The only thing I didn't like was releasing the berry. Even if that lines up the heal potions, now you also have to remember to go get the Oxyale, whereas the empty inventory slot can cause my memory to be sketchy sometimes.
Ooh, barbecuing up those steaks, medium rare, folks.
No, that's charred. There's no flavor in them at all.
It's like
They also
Edgeworth is
cause
going for the
horrible acid reflux.
and Edgeworth finally makes it through.
Yeah, that was kind of the more trolly pattern you can have with the pillars. Ideally, you get the 4 choice first, because that's the longest one, obviously, to figure out your path through. But when it's the last one, and then it's the last pillar, that can take a lot of extra time. There's the chime for Arsonhorse.
Now we'll see if he decides to go into Sky Castle or not, which I would figure he would.
Might stop up to get the Oxyale first. "41 minutes. Get the slab for Edge." That's about a 7-minute difference between them just because they've been on different routes.
Yeah, it looks like Arsonhorse is heading for... He's going for the Sky Tower, yes. Hopefully he does remember to get his Oxyale.
If you have a good memory, I guess you don't have to worry about it too much, but me personally, I don't trust mine, because I have forgotten before and probably will again. But
Yeah, I'm
if
the
you've got
same.
something that lets you just like check off, okay, I found this there, then that can make a difference.
Yeah, I don't write anything down when I run these.
And have you ever forgotten something as a result?
Yeah.
There you go then.
My first week I raced against Brought, I forgot the pirates. Didn't even go near them. Opened every single chest looking for the bottle, and there the pirates had it.
I don't remember half the stuff I recap. I just have it all written down in an HTML page that I'm updating as we go. Which is what's telling me that as we're 42 minutes in, we found the tail for sale in Elfland. It took us 40k gold to purchase it. The king handed over the flood, the princess had the canoe. The pirates in this seat had the cube. The ice cave held the bottle. Castle Ordeals had the slab. The sages gave us the crown. Sword of the Sage had the loot, and the robot has the rod.
Not too much fancy in the first level of Sky Tower, so...
It's great for being a very quick thing to check, and also to reset and go on to the later floors. Edge is going to pick up the Oxyale. It looks like Edge didn't translate the slab yet, so going to Sky Castle, not an option for him. We'll see if the route divergence pays off any. If you're looking for anything right now, I think it has to be either Power Gauntlet or Second Ribbon.
Or even the Mazmun would be nice.
Pure luxury item. So with those 3 nukes, Arsonhorse has really picked up just levels along the way and done quite well to be at the 15 range now. Edge was a little lower, and he took a couple extra fights against the zombie dragons to help get some in. But overall, I'd say we're still looking at things that are very close. If anything, I might say I think Arsonhorse is starting to get a little bit of an advantage in this one.
Yeah, he's really come back. Aside from not having the orb lit, that's about the only thing.
And that's the Volcano Orb, which is very fast to go mode. So if you're doing your treasure checks here in Sky, if Edge does those same treasure checks, but you go mode Volcano, then that's pure time saving.
See if the blue dragon offers any resistance in the Sky Castle. He hits pretty good, but he's going down quick, I believe.
He can roll up there in HP, which he clearly did. It has the advantage of being kind of a grind spot of last resort if you need levels, because you can take that otherwise encounter free. You can fight only the blue dragon there just by going back and forth to the doorway. But sometimes the blue dragon
have a ship in a box.
Just gonna roll high stats like he did there. There's all of our money we needed. That was a tail by itself.
Unrunnable whiz mummies and mummies. This could be bad.
Well, if they roll something nasty, but I think Edge is looking at that as, oh, here's a nice experience encounter. I've got 4 whiz mummies. Bad men surviving a nuke. Now that's bad. So just bear in mind, those synchronized encounters we just saw with Edge getting the mummies and Arsonhorse getting the bad men, Edge got about 200 more experience per person. That's the difference in a good experience encounter and a not so good one.
Gold bracelet in the waterfall. That's a decent pickup for sure.
One might argue it's the second best pickup you can have of a bracelet. Not even a sympathetic mild chuckle?
I don't think I got the joke.
Opal bracelet's better. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he lost me somewhere.
Well, the Batman field.
But there's your chuckle if you wanted it.
Okay, I'll take it. The
Skipping
Batman
right by
are
level
plentiful on
7
this
spells.
floor.
See if he checks out the ladies or not.
Now, Arsonhorse did not see how bad the eye was earlier, but plenty of nuke charges now.
Edgeworth just go mode in this place.
No treasure on that floor. It was on the floor, I think it was. There's the non-required ruby. Big Eye's great source of experience. Hopefully they didn't roll too high on the HP side. Arsonhorse left?
I think he exited out by mistake.
Oh, does he have exit in the first slot? Was that the exit boss? Or did he... He could have done it in... Did he reset after... Did he save and reset after he exited? He could have done it to manipulate the encounter table, because he took a bunch of extra steps looking for treasure.
Well, I don't know if chat has any reason for what just happened there. See Edgeworth picking up the easy chests along the way.
Chat saying he saved, so maybe that was either intentional or making the best of a bad situation.
He's taking out the eyes pretty easy, but I don't think he's seen what they have to offer yet. And here's the unrunnable with Sahag combo, but with Lightning 3, it's pretty trivial.
The Red Hydra is going down simply enough. Same amount of experience as the Badman encounter that survived a nuke. Hey, there's second ribbon.
Ribbon number 2. That I don't know if Edgeworth will pick up.
It's very possible Edge will miss that one. Depends on how comfortable he is with the equipment before getting to Sky Castle. And also not having ribbon... not not ribbon. Warp might make him a little more reluctant to do that.
And here's the lobsters, folks. Gotta be the worst enemy in the game. Good to eat, bad to fight.
Looks like non-terrible in the HP department, but not friendly.
Waters are runnable, but he's opting to take this fight anyway.
Gets rewarded by finding out they have cremate. Not a good feeling.
They're not too beefy. They went down pretty quickly.
No, so that's interesting information, and it means you might be able to do something with it if you have to later on. What feels really bad here, though, is it doesn't crack. Because Brack is the best way to get rid of Kraken more.
Not even fast enough to fight her, just going straight nukes.
It makes perfect sense. Nuke is gonna take care of business here, so...
As Kraken takes care of the red mage.
Well, Kraken being Kraken.
And the white mage. But he rolled low on the HP side of things.
Yeah, so there's our second orb at 51 minutes.
And there's the orb boss, lobsters.
True final boss.
Which has gotten our tracker, it seems.
And Edge gets orb number 2 restored. So, last time I did this, we had Wormex on both sides. Let's see what happens today.
There was one in the match earlier, so maybe we'll get another one. Looks like he's not playing around with these sorcerer's mud galls and just nukes them right away.
Wow, all of those sorcerers resisted the nuke, but they're so low HP they died anyways. Those were terrible damage rolls. Just completely horrible rolls on them.
Good luck on that. He didn't get too many encounters on that bridge.
No,
now we'll see if Tiamat's going to stop him or not.
You know, you don't have Bane, so you got to do this the hard way.
I think a bunch of nukes and the fighter fasted should be good enough.
Resisted the nukes, so this is going slow. Now he might be in quad X range. I'd switch to having one person quad X next round.
There goes the red mage. Nope, he's still going with nukes. And Arson's going to have his first orb lit now.
Okay, 53 minutes, and it's a different one than Edge has. So we're on the path of route divergence right now. But Edge getting 2 orbs done so far in the same time. It took Arsonhorse to do 1. Plus Arsonhorse still needs to visit the waterfall.
Unrunnable steak and wings. Gotta love it.
Although also to bear in mind is that Edge still needs to get the chime.
And with the 2 ribbons, Arsonhorse might just go mode the volcano altogether.
I think that's the play. Powered Gauntlet is very valuable in this seed without the temper. But at the same time, especially for him with all those extra nuke charges, you can kind of just feel a little more optimistic about that. And if you're willing to go Vorpal over Defense Sword, then also I think that diminishes the need for Power Gauntlet by a little bit. And
like
really anything past that is pure luxury.
Yeah, Edgeworth's just cleaning out some... He's going True Earth, he's not really checking chests, so he's just going right to Lich.
Although first he has to get by the most fearsome opponent of them all, the Immortal Vampire.
They'll have to call him the Tree Pump Vampire Zone. Arsonhorse is stopping to pick up some more spells here. Gonna get life 2 for his fighter. Makes the fighter very OP with a life 2 on him.
Yeah, that is so valuable for Temple of Fiends Revisited that the life 2 on a fighter can really get you through a run. Unrunnable werewolf grey wolf combination.
Looks like Arsonhorse is going to clear out the dwarves now. Find a couple of ice swords for his troubles. Ooh, grey wolves with toxic.
Yeah, and seeing that is something that's going to make you so happy that tents were for sale on the cheap, because this seed would have just been really nasty trying to walk around dealing with those. So about the hour mark, this really proved to be a sprint seed for us. We started with Canoe and Floater as the first 2 items, which means you have a completely open world. A low-level nuke, which is quite helpful. Life 2 is learnable by red mages. Actually, I don't remember if it was red mage or red wizard, but we have red wizards, so it doesn't matter. But it was knight learnable, so there's also that.
There goes the vampire.
Wait, there was a vampire in this game? I missed it.
Oh, he'll be back with his brothers, don't worry.
Also with the randomizer, the chest behind the vampire is one that you can incentivize.
Yes, I believe Arsonhorse does have the Vorpal.
It was in the Corneria Treasury, I believe.
Looks like Edgeworth is about to reach Lich. Hasn't healed his black mage yet from poison, so... Strategy there, I wonder? He's gonna die now.
But I think if you were dating anyone for levels, it would be the white mage. This white mage really has everything you need the white mage to have for Temple of Fiends Revisited, except over 300 hit points, and that's debatable.
Trolls with fur too? I guess we'll find out. He was just leaving him low to get the cheap heal.
Well, you know, Life 2 is the best heal spell in the game.
Harm 4s and nukes. Lich shouldn't last very long.
Often you see Earth Cave left for last, but at the level's edge it's already effectively the same thing. You're high enough level to just mow everything down, so it makes it faster. So Edge had the robot item at 46 minutes. This is going to be at least a 13-minute gap for Arsonhorse to get it.
Yeah, and Edgeworth has 3 orbs to 1, so...
Yeah, but also Arsonhorse has gone and completed Sky Castle, and he's translated the slab, so he's made different progress than Edge had.
Well, Edge is going down to get his chime, so hopefully he translated his slab.
Yeah, he was over in Melmond. He went to Earth Cave after doing that. Chat saying Arsonhorse doesn't have the Vorpal. Maybe he got rid of it because he doesn't believe in it. I'm not a Team Vorpal person, but I'll take Vorpal over defense sword. Typically, I'd have to be against like a low absorb or evade boss before defense sword's gonna outperform Vorpal. There's no doubt he would have picked it up. It's a question of whether or not he thought enough of it to keep it.
Not much in level 7, so...
That temper continues to be evasive. I don't remember if we checked level 7 Gaia.
See what Arsonhorse does here. If he goes, yeah, looks like he's gonna go mode the waterfall as well. I mean, the sea shrine.
2 ribbons, I think that's a reasonable play.
Oh, looks like Edgeworth is gonna...
Safe tiles here.
Looks like Edgeworth is... We got go mode on the Mirage Tower here. So I would say Edgeworth's going to be down a ribbon for sure.
Yeah, if he had warp, maybe he would check that area, but considering where it was, I just don't see him walking through that. If he had checked the mermaids, perhaps he would have found the 3rd one there, but not going to be the case today.
Nope, unless it's in the, unless it's in the validation chests. Pretty sure Edgeworth's going down with 1 ribbon.
With Life 2 on the night, though, that makes me feel better about having only 1 ribbon. But we also have Dragon Armor, Aegis Shield, and Stick a Pro Ring on top of that. We've got a lot of situations covered.
Oh, looks like he's going to Sharknado room and he's going to check the hidden chest.
It's very minimal to check the 3, but often you'll see people skip the 4th because you'd have to take 2 encounters just to get 1 treasure chest.
And unrunnable encounters at that.
In this seed, that is. It was the other Opal Shield. The sharks can be friendly, but often they're not. They start high enough base that they don't tend to come out easy that often.
Looks like Arsonhorse is around level 20, so I'd say he's level enough to make a go of her.
He'll still probably pick up another couple of...
Did Edgeworth check the greater than less than room?
I don't think so. I think he's just going on at this point.
Yeah, he's just straight going through. He must feel ready for TOFR.
Oh yeah, that's pure go mode if he doesn't go to the right there. I mean, just the idea of missing 6 chests that are that easy. He's total go mode.
Alright, folks, let's see if he hits a war mech.
Still go mode chests. But here's the other interesting little sidebar. Edge not checking those chests means he's in a different spot on the encounter table. We could see a completely different Bridge of Destiny.
Because Arsonhorse had it pretty easily, so Edgeworth might be in that encounter part where he could be rough.
Hey, he's seeing encounters a little frequently here. You'd probably rather see him frequently here than...
Kraken fasting himself up for the big dance.
These nachos are really good experience. Edge has seen a lot of good experience encounters along the way. And he is somebody who's really knowledgeable about which ones of those he wants to take. So now he's level 19. And
Arsonhorse has his second orblet.
About 11-minute gap since he lit his first orb. Edge, by contrast, did 2 of them pretty close together in 7 minutes, and he's got 3 out of 4, and this is on his last.
Well, Arsonhorse got Earth and Fire, the 2 quick ones if you go mode them, so we should only be maybe 6-7 minutes to get both done.
Going to Earth next.
nachos? I could go for a nacho platter right about now.
Well, getting a lot of these, and good news, bad news, because good news is there are a lot of experience. Bad news is they keep taking that second nuke to kill, and you want to have enough left over for actually killing Tiamat.
Looks like he's not fasting his fighter, he's just going straight on the O at the moment.
So, interesting that this means that with both runners in go mode, we're not seeing Masamune, we're not seeing Excalibur, we're not going to see White Shirt or Third Ribbon.
Yeah, some valuable pieces of equipment. Looks like Tiamat rolled some high absorb, but well, here comes the Quad X.
And again, once you put a couple hundred damage on him, he's in range where it'll probably work and just save you that time. But in this case, it was low enough for Nuke to do the job. But that was a terrible nuke roll, so that Quad X was worth 2 nukes against Tiamat, by contrast.
We'll see if Edgeworth goes straight into TOFR, or if he does a little shopping preparation first, maybe.
Don't know if he picked up Life 2 on the night yet. That'd certainly be something you would want to do first.
Gonna pick up Life 2 for his fighter. Very OP. Yeah, the weight mage didn't really pay off in this seed, to be honest, but Edge is making it work.
Yeah, I think on the whole, with 1 or 2 little errors, that Edge's routing was better. Clearly he's gotten here faster, but Arsonhorse was able to make a lot of ground by having that extra nuke cast and just not having to be shy about it. Edge had to stop a couple of times to try and grab levels to be where he is, and I think Arsonhorse is at a higher level without stopping anywhere.
Arsonhorse burning some houses and tents to get his heals in the optimal position.
He is going to check out the Earth Cave here. Finds the second Pro Cape.
I'm going to see if the eye is going to be any... Nope, it's runnable. See if he checks the validation chests. And he will.
I thought I saw Bane's sword earlier. Clearly I didn't because it was here in Earth Cave. There's the Sun sword. Probably not going to have a red mage swing his sword too much, but still the best you're going to have for them here.
Looks like Edgeworth is making his way down. Ambushed by some Frosties. See some frost and some ruse going on, and some dazzle.
Sleep touch is not a nice thing, especially to your best at running away. The place where I think you're going to really see Arsonhorse's party shine is when he gets into Temple of Fiends Revisited and having 5 extra casts of nuke.
Looks like Edge wants nothing to do with these slimes. Edgeworth, a pretty quick encounter, part of the encounter table, getting back to back.
It's good news, bad news. Lots of encounters don't feel good at any spot in Temple of Fiends Revisited, but if you can get a fast walk through the water floor, you're probably going to be very happy about that.
Looks like Arsonhorse is gonna... Oh, what a roll for Nuke. And down goes Lich, so he has his third orb lit. He may be one orb behind, folks, but a TOFR wipe could even this game up in a minute.
And as far as go mode is concerned, Volcano is the quickest one. I mean, I would not be shocked if he's done it under 3 minutes. He shouldn't see very many encounters at all. He does have all of his spell shopping done as well, so he's might have to top off his heal potions, but otherwise he should be.
Here's Lich 2. See if he has anything dangerous.
It's a case where you hope he does and you never find out.
And he has Nuke. And you found out. And he wiped out 2 of you.
Unfortunately, spell 1, but life 2 on the knight, you can recover pretty quickly. And on the red mage, so plenty of life 2s to go around. You get a life 2. You get a life 2. Everybody gets a life 2.
I'm a cure 4 at level 1. It's basically 5-second kill. It's a 5-second loss to heal and live again.
I don't know why Arsonhorse is checking treasures at this point. There's just too little value in it, I think.
Yeah, like, maybe he's looking for the Power Bonk or the Mesmoon.
The only other thing I can say about it is your opponent probably checked the volcano chests earlier than you did. So if there's anything in there, you would hate to give that advantage up.
Well, we've seen 1 nuke, so we'll see what Carrie has to offer here.
You might hear this a lot in the randomizer, but it bears repeating that all of our bosses, which is the 4 Fiends Revisited, the War Mech, and the Chaos, all share one pool of skills and spells. So the randomizer just puts it in some form or fashion between all of them. So we know that in that pool, there are 2 casts of Nuke, 4 casts of Nuclear, and those are your highlight nastiness things you can run into. So seeing the 1 nuke means that's off the table for the rest of them, but there's still another nuke and a lot of nuclears.
And some swirls and tornadoes. And some unrunnable gray shark and whizzags.
So I believe that is Edge's 3rd Quad X kill on one of the bosses. Maybe only 2nd, but he lined it up a 3rd time, and it would have worked. Alright, Arsonhorse is done. On to Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Looks like these waters are pretty heavy-handed.
Yeah, a pack of them with cremate is not. 50-60 damage isn't much, but when you're taking it 5 times... And when they follow it up with trance, that's not fun either.
Life 2 is paying off in spades.
Best healing spell in the game. Hey, while we have a moment, let's go ahead and say a quick thank you to Randomania for hosting us tonight. They've been a great partner of Bunnyfin's Randomizer. Thank you also to Wolfman 2000, especially for being our restreamer tonight. He picked us up on short notice. Working hard and pulling double duty tonight to get Final Fantasy Randomizer on. Greatly appreciate it, and thank you to all of you who have spent part of this.
And I just gotta say, I'm pretty disappointed in Sar. This has been a pretty decent seed.
Well, you know, the Wolves were awful. We just happened to get Floater and Canoe, or we just happened to get the cheap tents, really, is what made that difference.
And we have Arsonhorse now making his way down TOFR, so he is caught up. He has made a lot of ground.
And the eye was completely awful.
And
Files also makes a good point that we haven't seen the 3... The gauntlet, basically, I'll call it. The final gauntlet of this game is Kraken 2, Tiamat 2, and Chaos.
And it's still anybody's game. Oh, the Phantom just wipes out the Black Mage.
Phantom can be very non-trivial.
And here we go, folks. See what Kraken's packing. Is he going to be crack-a-lackin', or is he going to be spelling? Just crack-a-lack the White Mage.
Other important difference to note between the runners is Arsonhorse comes in here with the second ribbon that Edge does not have. Kraken 2, kind of laughing at that first nuke, only taking damage in the 100 range.
Stuns the fighter, but the fighter picks right back up. Damage poison.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know that was in the boss. But again, low damage rolls from nuke. It's been a persistent problem. This.
Now he's man-moding it.
86 damage. This is where you really wish you had almost anything else. And he's swinging that defense sword. Gotta imagine he's gonna switch over to Vorpal after this.
If he makes it through.
I'm being optimistic here. I also
All day to win.
I don't think he fully defensed the knight. He's taking too many hits.
Paralyzed. And there's your wipe, folks.
Cracked through a ribbon! I'm pretty sure he had the ribbon on the knight.
He did. He did. That is bad. And it looks like Arsonhorse is now in the lead.
And 2 ribbons for Arsonhorse, a little bit better levels. And Edgeworth will hopefully next time put the Vorpal sword on for that fight. I think it would have been a little better offense. But the other thing he really didn't do there was max the evade of the fighter, so he took way too many hits because of that. Not that it would have helped when you get cracked through a ribbon, but he took a lot of damage otherwise.
But he's giving her another go. Here we have Arsonhorse approaching Carry.
Yeah, no reason not to dive in and take another shot, because, I mean, that was an RNG death. That was not, I'm underpowered to death. That's just, it shouldn't have happened, and it did, and let's try again. Also, maybe you'll get better RNG, and the nuke won't come out from Lich this time.
Looks like we got lots of Arsonhorse fans in the chat.
That's okay. Cheer on your favorites. Go for it.
Now we'll see if Arsonhorse has any more luck against Kraken.
Arsonhorse has done a terrific job in this tournament. Any victory you get, you win.
As commentators, we like to stay partial.
You meant impartial, right?
Yeah, that's probably the word I was looking for.
Well, Arsonhorse has a date with the gauntlet. Will he survive?
Meanwhile, Edge is back at Lich 2. We'll see if he avoids the nuke this time.
And the biggest problem I have is the magic defense on that Kraken 2 was just resisting the nukes like crazy. So maybe you can get a little bit better luck with the nukes this time around, but that just felt really bad more than anything.
Oh, we're gonna find out here. That was a good nuke, and Kraken comes out with Fire 3.
Fire 3 is on the spell list. Crack's an ability, so I don't remember if there were any other abilities in front of Crack, or if that was the first one.
Arsonhorse is getting some decent nuke rolls, and there's Zap.
It's such a difference when you're getting a good nuke roll versus a bad nuke. I mean, if you're doing 100 damage difference times 4 or 5 nukes, that's a lot of damage. And that Kraken was really low HP, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he didn't try to hug anybody either, so.
Oh, so much better trip through there.
See if Tiamat does something here.
And starting with Tiamat 2, you're definitely better off with the Vorpal Sword equipped. Masa would be better, but for here... Vorpal is more likely to give you the damage.
Arsonhorse is defensing up his fighter, and it's a good thing too, because Tiamat's trying to cut him down.
Tiamat 2 does not have the strength that Kraken 2 does, but also does have a decent amount and can certainly roll higher in the randomizer.
And Edge is back on the water floor, so he is making ground.
And no idea yet what awaits us with Chaos.
But down goes the Black Mage. Oh, with lots of... Oh, that's a good nuke roll. 4 hits 11 with the Vorpal. That's just nice. Alright, we're going to get our first look at Chaos.
If things go wrong, Edge not far behind at the moment, but still must get through this Kraken 2 fight.
Kraken pulls out Damage Poison. Something Arsonhorse never seen.
So that was in front of Crack, which unfortunately means that's going to be the next ability if Kraken does use an ability.
And here we are, folks. Chaos fasting himself. Buckle up.
Not the scariest thought with defense. You're kind of hoping that Chaos is going to be melee heavy instead of spell heavy.
Bye, Red Mage. Good roll on the nuke there. Looks like he's going all out on the offense.
Not a terrible strategy until you see reason to do otherwise. I mean, if you kill Chaos, then he can't do anything to you.
Inferno, but not too bad. Black Mage is down a little bit, but he's down about a quart.
Well, hey, if you're out of nukes, why not go to the Bane strats?
Looks like Edgeworth has taken another beating at the hands of Kraken. But he does get through this time.
Well, hey, life 2, you can make it like it never happened.
Chaos must be close to death now.
Not taking a lot of damage on that melee yet. Bane could work at any time, though. But that'll be the last round we see it.
Chaos is pretty beefy here. He's pumped about 2,300 into him, I think.
Can have a maximum of 3,000 HP.
Yes, Cure 4 would be bad, and now it's whole day to win, folks.
Whole day in hope. Not a lot of melee damage.
Chaos is hanging in there. Ooh, man, it's got to be close to death now. GG, Arsonhorse.
Very well done.
With an official SRL time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 28 seconds. Get your GGs out, folks.
Went in to Temple of Fiends Revisited second, but came out first.
And Edgeworth is trying to XXX Tiamat. We'll see if we can get Arsonhorse in here for a quick interview.
Yeah, should join us shortly. Edge will try and finish this out. That's pretty typical when you're already here and close to the end. I think most people, if they're in Temple of Fiends, they like to try and finish out the run. Some
Down
like to
goes
just finish
Tiamat.
out regardless.
We didn't see really anything dangerous from Chaos, so I can't see Edgeworth having a hard time.
There was Inferno, and only the one ribbon instead of 2 ribbons. It'll a little bit more. And there may have been Swirl, or was that Kraken?
I don't know if I've seen Swirl, to be honest.
So I'm pretty sure we saw 2 of those damage AoEs from Chaos, which are going to hurt a little bit more. Edge's side.
Edge is taking him on, so we'll see how this fight goes for him. We know Chaos has rolled on the high point of hit points, so...
And there's Arsonhorse. GG.
GG, Arsonhorse.
Thank you.
Well, first thoughts after that one.
I was thinking I was behind like the entire time because I know Edge is really, really, really good. But I was, by the time I was getting through Sky and Bonk wasn't showing up, I'm like, well, I got Vorpal, so we're going to give it a shot here. The Life 2 on the Knight and 2 ribbons. I feel like I've got a not terrible chance to get through it if the Fiends are a little kind and I got enough nukes to get through most of them, I figure, so I went for it and it worked out.
Edgeworth's on hold A to win now.
You went with a different party selection than Edge did, and you brought the second red mage, he brought a white mage. That ended up giving you an extra nuke, so talk about your thinking going in on that.
Yeah, the other rounds I played, I typically brought white mage, black mage, red mage, and thinking about it like, yeah, the thing that the black mage is best at is dying, and that's not an ideal quality to have, so I was planning on going to red mage at least this time, because you get the flexibility with the black magic and the white magic if it's good, and this seed, white magic was not very great early. Life 2 was nice, but healing magic was pretty far and few between. So red mage was definitely a choice that paid off.
Edgeworth is trying to finish off Chaos here. Edgeworth actually entered the Temple of Fiends before you, but he took a wipe at the hands of Kraken 2.
Oh my.
Yeah, he unfortunately was down to just his knight and took Crack through a ribbon.
Oh wow, yeah, that's really unfortunate. Did he end up finding power?
He did
No,
not.
he did not.
He actually checked a little less than you did.
He
Yeah.
only has 1 ribbon too. He didn't get the second ribbon in Sky. And there, GG to Edgeworth.
He
With
finishes
6 hit points left on his fighter.
less than 4 minutes behind, so this was a tight race, all things considered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and an SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 16 seconds. Close race. What were you thinking when you got the floater and canoe right away?
I was thinking I don't have a whole lot of experience doing this, so I was a little worried that I would mess things up. I always feel like I'm struggling early game, but definitely early floater is not something I have a whole lot of experience with. Just get the floater. That was the first goal. And luckily there was enough gold to get a good chunk of tents early and make it relatively painless to get there. So.
And GG Edgeworth.
GG, I have to ask one question just to verify I'm right on something. That was through a ribbon, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad then.
No.
Oh,
so,
we thought you had the ribbon on your fighter and the crack went through.
No, I forgot to move it.
So what's your thoughts on that seed?
I wish I had a better weapon. That would have been a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, you were pretty much ahead the whole race until that wipe at Kraken.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I figured. Everything else went pretty smooth as far as routing wise and dungeon wise. Just tried to save some new charges for the chaos fight, and it ended up biting me in the ass there.
There was an early divergence between the two of you in you bringing the white mage versus Arson brought the red mage, and as you might imagine, that made a difference.
Yeah, the white mage didn't bring too much to the table. Life too, that was about it.
Well, Cure 4 certainly saves a lot of time as well. I didn't have anybody else, and Wall certainly that would have helped if I would have had time to actually cast it.
Well, any final thoughts between you guys on this seed?
Also, Arson, in addition to GG on this game, GG, you're qualifying for the brackets with an excellent record.
Thanks. That's cool. My goal going in, like I said last week, was just win 3, and the goal is now just to win if I can. So it's nice to keep going.
And Edgeworth, you will be in the play-in race. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel pretty good about the play-in race. I feel like the stress was mostly off with the 3 wins. And just the way the play-in race structured, I feel as long as I don't take too many big risks, I should be fine.
Right. Well, we'll wish you all the best of RNG going. You gave us a great one tonight, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yep, GG.
Good game.
Once again, thank you, Randomania, our race streamer tonight, Wolfman, and thank you all of you who joined us this evening. Thank you, Hankry Canuck and Moist Mogwai. I don't actually know how to say that. For doing a great job as our tracker tonight. I've been Trenton, and wish everybody good night.